We recognize that gun violence is the #1 killer of children in America under the age of 18. But we know that it's not a conversation about guns.
The murder of a former pro boxer, gunned down in front of his own home.
It's even harder when the kids are constantly, like the smaller ones that don't understand that daddy won't be back, and they constantly ask for him. That's what hurts.
The story of my brother begins with him being a positive impact in our community. He helped, he was involved with the youth, was looking to start up his own boxing program. January 4th, 2019, he was murdered coming home from work. From my brother's murder, I felt a lot of anger, a lot of sadness, a lot of confusion. My brother taught me a lot what it takes to be a man, and I was only 17 at the time, so I wasn't sure how I would be able to move forward and become a man.
Promise Neighborhoods of the Lehigh Valley is a Black-led, anti-racist, woman-centered, liberation-based grassroots organization that is focused on healing and wellness. And we do that through leadership development, violence prevention and reentry, racial justice and health equity, and community capacity building. And essentially, Promise Neighborhoods is really about how do we lift up the voices of the people within the community that have the most intimate solutions to the issues that plague our lives and are often most ignored? How do we empower the folks at the community level to really be the ones that drive the solutions, that have access to resources, and that are able to work together to change our own lives?
Hey, good to see you.
PNLV is a strong member of the community of the city of Allentown. I got to know Dr. Batts 3 years ago in July of 2020, and you can have an open dialogue about what it looks like to relinquish power or give up control. It's actually pretty liberating. Instead of saying that your job as the government is to solve all of the problems that face you, to know that you can't do it by yourself, and that in order to accomplish some of that work, you need to give some power to your collaborators.
It's one too many!
Promise Neighborhoods is a game-changing organization that is focused on authentic engagement with people at the community level who can identify and tell us what the true needs are of community and what the assets and opportunities are. And so an organization like United Way is better because of our partnership with Promise Neighborhoods.
I work closely with community partners to activate our purpose and support the most vulnerable populations where we have a branch footprint. Every once in a while, we will come across organizations like Promise Neighborhoods where their mission aligns with our mission, and then boom, the magic happens, and we try to figure out how to deepen it. I can tell you that through the course of our relationship, I've had the opportunity to have intimate conversations with some of his leadership team. And hearing how they turned their trauma into triumph has probably been the most inspiring thing that I've witnessed.
When I was coming up, I didn't exist. There weren't individuals and organizations that believed in me, that looked at me. I mean, my mother knew that I was special. She told me I was brilliant, I was beautiful, that I could change the world. When I went to school, the teachers told me I'd die in a pool of my own blood, that I was the worst thing my mom and community ever had. So I believe that we need people that are willing to pour into us and see the best in us. So when I look at every individual in this community, I see something special in them, and I remind them of that. We all know now that every child needs that one caring adult. I believe that every adult needs that one caring adult, and that every child and every adult needs that one caring agency, like that really sees the potential in them and not only creates opportunity, but that fights to remove the barriers that exist, because people are failing because systems are crushing them.
We want you to understand the leading killer of children in our community is gun violence.
My brother was 25 years old when he was killed. The impact that my brother's murder had on my family, it took everybody down. My brother was the glue of our family. He's what held us together, what lifted us up. So not having that glue anymore, we had to, figure out life without him and figure out how to move on. So that's when PNLV came into our lives, gave my family a sense that, things are gonna be okay and that we will be able to move forward. They offered my family therapy sessions and counseling to help us get through the grief that we were going through. That helped me personally because I was able to find motivation in wanting to go to boot camp still and wanting to get back into school and making sure I made it through my senior year of high school. 2022, I returned to PNLV. And as a member of the Promise Corps, we learned outdoor stewardship and learned how to maintain trails, learn how to farm, learn how to grow our produce, and was able to give that back to the community. From there, I transitioned into a violence interrupter, where I returned back into the community doing surveys as well as responding to acts of violence. After being a violence interrupter for some time, Promise Neighborhood set up interviews with Allentown School District. I hopped on the opportunity as a chance to grow and further my career.
A lot of it is recognizing that we don't always know the best way, that it's often the case that our neighborhoods, our residents, and our community partners who have feet on the ground may have better insight into what might be needed in a neighborhood to truly make lasting change.
Which is what's unique about this relationship, in that as a donor and a funder, you typically would see us imposing on them, but they are imprinting and influencing the way that we do our work in community. And so it's a very reciprocal relationship. What I am especially impressed with is its leadership.
What I love most about them is because they have those authentic experiences, the community trusts them. When you ask Promise Neighborhood to show up, they show up. It's almost like a rainstorm in a good way. You'll see a little bit of orange, another little drop of orange. By the time it's done, you see a sea of orange. Everyone is there, they're happy, they're wanting to support, and you feel like family. Like, I feel like that's my family. And I think as corporations, when we start to humanize these relationships, really get to know who we're supporting, who we're talking with, that's what we're gonna do to change this. They're not clients, they're not just partners. This is a brain trust. We're changing lives this way, and I feel comfortable doing it because I know who I'm working with. The community voices matter, but only when you invest in making them authentic, and I think that's what we've done with Promise Neighborhoods.
After some time as a para-professional, I was offered a position as a security guard. I took it, that way I could move up and be able to support my family. As a security guard, I got to interact with youth every day, help them understand that life is more to life than being a bad kid or whatever title life gives them. It's more to life. I was a security guard for a while. I was then offered a position as the athletic director at Robb Middle School. I've been the athletic director at Robb Middle School for about the past month and a half now. And that's to continue to grow, spread my wings some more, continue to fly, continue to soar. My brother's with me in the work I do. He taught me how to be a man. And, all the lessons he taught me in life, I carry with me. I just try to be the man that, I looked up to, which was him.
Hassan has a dream and a vision that is bigger than this entire community, and I think he naturally pulls people into that dream and vision. You can't help but want to be a part of it.
When I came home from prison and I was looking at my next move, my mother said to me, Allentown is the city that you harmed, and Allentown is the city that you need to repair.